I know the feeling. The alarm goes off and all you want to do is hit snooze for the 5th time. You finally get up, grab your phone and start scrolling. It feels like everyone else is out there living their best life, crushing it, traveling, thriving, and in the back of your mind there's this slight sense of frustration or even jealousy, like, why isn't that me? I wish I could be doing that. It feels like there's this whole world of untapped opportunities out there just waiting for you. And you're right. There is. I remember feeling exactly the same way about 5 years ago. I was stuck in a corporate job that I was not a fan of whatsoever. My health had taken a backseat and honestly, I felt like I was just existing, just watching my time slip by me. But deep down, I wanted more. I knew to my core that this couldn't be it. This couldn't be my story. So I committed to chasing something better. I quit the job, I sold the house, I ended the unhealthy relationship, and I left the UK. This one decision completely changed the course of my life. It led me to starting my own business, making over 6 figures, having the freedom to travel and live anywhere I want, and meeting the person I'm now building a life with. It opened my eyes to what's truly possible when you go after what you really want. That's what I want for you. To go after what you desire and actually get it. I want you to become the woman who creates a life she loves, a life that's fulfilling and purpose-driven, not one that's just going through the motions. So right now I'm on the edge of another big move to another place. I've been living back in the UK for about a year and a half now, and if I'm honest, things feel a little stagnant. I need a bit of a shake-up. So I'm moving to Australia. This has kind of been on my mind for a while, but the other week I decided I wasn't going to wait around any longer. Of course, that kicked off the to-do list. Apply for my visa, packing up my house, sell all the stuff I can't take with me, book my flights, find a new place to live, buying a new car, buying furniture, and everything else I'll need. Moving to the other side of the world is no small thing, and it takes a lot of time, money, and energy to get it all sorted. And the other day I caught myself thinking, what if I don't even like it there? What if this move doesn't give me the fresh start I'm after? And both of these questions are completely valid. It's not like I was in some kind of anxiety-induced rabbit hole of thoughts when they came up. If I wasn't having thoughts like this, then the change I'm making probably isn't big enough. But this really brought me back to myself 5 years ago, back to when I was on that cliff's edge of making another huge shift in my life. Absolutely, what I'm doing now and what I did back then are risks. What I did back then was a huge risk, and what I'm doing now is a risk as well. Firstly, there's the emotional risk. Moving across the world means diving into the unknown. And the thought, what if I don't even like it, lingers in the back of my mind. There's a lot of emotional energy tied up in the hope that this new chapter will give me the shake-up I'm craving. But of course, there's always the chance it won't. Then there's the financial risk. This move is expensive. The visa, flights, finding a place to live, buying a car, every step is draining money with no guarantee of a return. The cost of selling off what I own now also means losing money on what I've invested in. On top of that, there's the social risk. I'll be leaving behind my friends and family, my support network, and there is a chance I might not find the same connections or community in Australia, which could leave me feeling super isolated or homesick. And then finally, there's the lifestyle risk. What if the culture or the way of life there doesn't suit me? It's a complete shift from what I know from the other places I've been to in Australia, and there's always a chance it won't match the picture I've created in my head. All of this risk makes the leap even bigger, but maybe that's what it's all about, pushing past these risks and seeing what's waiting on the other side. This is what I've come to realize. Life is inherently risky. You can't avoid it. Just like the quote I shared with you earlier says, life is risky. Let me tell you how risky life is, you won't come out alive. Risk isn't something you can opt out of. It's always there, whether you take action or not. Even when you choose to do nothing, that's a risk too. You might miss opportunities, stay stagnant, and end up facing consequences you didn't even see coming. Realizing that risk is a constant part of life actually makes you feel so free. It lets you make bold decisions instead of being paralyzed by the fear of the unknown, because there's no such thing as a risk-free path. We might trick ourselves into thinking that staying still is the safe option, but doing nothing can lead to the biggest risk of all: regret. That's when we start thinking, I could have done that, I should have done that, thinking back to what we could have done differently. It's like walking a tightrope. Risk is always beneath you. No matter what choices you make, the risk is there regardless of whether you play big or not. Once you see that, you realize that playing it safe doesn't protect you from risk any more than taking bold action. This perceived safety is just an illusion. Just because something feels comfortable doesn't mean it's actually safe. Staying in the same job or the same lifestyle might seem secure, but over time it can hold you back from real growth and what you really want. Don't confuse the comfort zone with security. They are not the same thing. I get it though, fear can literally distort our sense of risk. The fear of failure or the unknown can make the risks seem way bigger and way scarier than they actually are. It amplifies the sense of danger. But when you step back and really look at it, the risks of making big life changes often aren't that different from the risks we already face in our daily lives. Recognizing that fear exaggerates the risk allows us to make much clearer and balanced decisions instead of seeing things as so black and white. And let's be honest, there is this connection between risk and reward. The biggest rewards in life typically come from taking risks, the version of risk that comes from taking action. Maybe you've been at the same job for years. It feels safe, it pays the bills, but deep down, you know it's not where you want to be. Leaving a stable job to pursue a completely new career path, that's a risk. Yeah, you might fail, but staying in a job that drains your energy and keeps you stagnant can lead to having so many deep regrets later on. It's a different kind of risk, one that slowly eats away at your potential. Imagine uprooting your life to move somewhere entirely new. A new city, new people, new way of life. I know how scary that can be. The emotional and financial risks are real, but it opens so many doors. New friendships, career opportunities, and personal growth that simply wouldn't happen if you stayed in your comfort zone. Sticking to familiar surroundings might feel secure, but sometimes the real growth happens when you throw yourself into the deep end and see what happens. Let's say you love photography or fitness, and you've been playing with the idea of making it your job. That's terrifying, isn't it? Leaving the safety of a 9-to-5 to start something from scratch. The financial risk is high and the fear of failure is there. But think about the potential. Doing what you love every single day, and not just as a hobby, but as your career. That risk could turn into emotional fulfillment and financial freedom. But you'll never know unless you take that leap. Investing in yourself, whether it's through education or personal development, is another big risk people often shy away from. Investing in new skills does feel risky because of the time and money involved, and there's always the fear of failure. But staying where you are without growth is a bigger risk. It's the risk of missing out on opportunities that could change your life. Learning new skills or gaining a deeper understanding on certain things can open doors you didn't even know existed. When you start to view these risks, whether it's a career shift, a move, or a hobby becoming an income, as gateways to possibility, they don't seem as intimidating. Yes, there's a chance of failure, but staying still, staying stuck, carries its own risks. Missed opportunities, feeling unfulfilled, and regret. That's why understanding the balance of risk and reward is so important. The biggest rewards come from the risks we take to pursue what we truly want. Every decision has its uncertainties, but also the potential for something so much greater than what you have now. Taking action, even if it's scary, leads to growth and new experiences. And those are the moments that transform your life. This is why risk isn't the enemy. Stagnation is. Taking risks allows you to break free from the comfort zone that's holding you back. And sure, not every risk will pay off in the way you imagine, but even in the failures, you learn, you grow, and you're better equipped for the next opportunity. All this talk about taking big risks, there is obviously a huge caveat to this. And that's that we shouldn't just take risk blindly. They should always be calculated. Yes, risk is unavoidable, but you can minimize the downsides by preparing and planning. Knowing what risks are involved and preparing for them helps you move forward with confidence. It's not about eliminating risk, it's about managing it in a way that allows you to take bold steps without unnecessary fear or anxiety, or at the very least, knowing what you're in for. The bottom line is that life is risky. But when you embrace that fact, when you step up and take those risks, you open yourself up to possibilities you never even imagined. Staying in your comfort zone might feel safe, but in reality, it can hold you back from what you're truly capable of. The key is not to fear risk. but to manage it wisely, because the greatest rewards come when you're willing to bet on yourself. So what's the next bold move you're going to take? Whatever it is, know that you're capable, you're worthy, and you're more ready than you think. Your dream life isn't out of reach. It's just waiting for you to take that leap. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you.